Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube, and welcome to my spoiler review of Season 4 of The Boys, Episodes 1, 2, and 3. A little bit of a new format for me because there's so much to talk about because I've binged 3 episodes in one go that I've decided to do some bullet points instead, so bear with me as I bumble and mumble my way through this. So, Victoria Newman's going to be the first thing I want to talk about. She is the superhero who can blow people's heads up. She's also running for Congress, and nobody knows that she's a supe other than the boys and some people within Vought. The reason why she's keeping it on the down low because she's actually anti-superhero. That's the sort of persona she's giving because she doesn't want supes to have too much power, so to speak, when it comes to decision making, being in government, being in the military, things like that. So she can't obviously come out as a superhero if she's going up against them and trying to bring out legislation against them as well. She hasn't killed off the boys simply because if she does try to take out one or two members of the boys, the remaining boys will out her for who she truly is. So that's the situation so far with Victoria. We do see her in certain other episodes as well, but overall she's kind of keeping her head down and just wants to get through this political process as well. But she's having to deal with Homelander too, as everyone does at some particular point, and Homelander does have some shit to deal with of his own, and I'll get to Homelander in a bit. Also, Victoria Newman's daughter, we kind of see what she's all about when she kills two new members of the boys who we don't actually get to know because they're already dead very early on in the premiere episode of this particular season. And her powers is like getting little snakes out of her mouth and stuff like that. It was a really cool opening scene. As every time we watch the boys, they always have an interesting scene at the beginning of each new season. Huey's dad and mum, well, we find that very early on, and this kind of puts Huey almost to a degree on the bench a little bit throughout these first 3 episodes. Not in episode 3 so much, but you don't see too much of him initially because Huey's dad has suffered a stroke. And so now Huey's going to spend some time with his dad while he's in hospital. And we do see Simon Pegg in hospital, comatose and all of that sort of stuff, not saying a word. Pretty cool. But Hugh's mum comes back into their lives, and she's apparently been gone for years. I think 16 years or something along those lines. So Hugh's not too thrilled to see his mum because, as far as he's concerned, his mum has abandoned them. But she wants to play a pivotal part in their lives, and it's still up in the air what's going on with her. But apparently, she also works with Vought, so she could be spying on Huey. We're not 100% sure, but she's still a bit of an enigma, and we haven't had too much focus on her just yet, just little snippets here and there. I'm sure in the latter episodes more will come to light. Homelander and Sun. Now, Homelander does play significant parts throughout this entire first 3 episodes. He is one of the main characters, obviously. And Homelander initially has been charged for murder to the guy he killed at the end of season 3. And we also see this divide between fans of Homelander and fans of Starlight because Starlight has left the Seven and she's calling out Homelander for what he is. And there is, as you can, if you look at it very carefully, you can see some portrayals of what our current world is right now regarding how people are divided when it comes to these superheroes. Homelander doesn't get convicted for the crime of killing that person. It was like a self-defense thing. And obviously he was defending his son as well. But regarding his son, his son is a very torn person. He hasn't forgotten the lessons that his mum was teaching him when she was living with his mum. And obviously Butcher has an influence on the son as well. But Homelander really wants to mold his son to be more like him. Somebody who doesn't care and just looks at human beings as toys. Words that have come out of Homelander's own mouth. But his son does care, and I think his son's name's Ryan. I'm sorry, his name did escape me, but he does care, and he doesn't necessarily want to be like Homelander. And there are moments in this episode, or in the first 3 episodes, where his son accidentally kills somebody, a stuntman, and he's really upset by it. And Homelander doesn't realize why he's so upset until his son tells him, and then he's pissed off with his son for being upset for killing that dude in the first place. Because he doesn't care. Homelander doesn't care about anybody but himself. And you can always see Homelander, he's just about to lose himself. There's There's so much self control going within him, but you can see his face twitching and turning, and him biting on his lip, grinding his teeth, because he could just kill everybody within the blink of an eye if he wanted to. He's that powerful, and to suppress himself constantly is taking a toll on him, especially now that he's trying to be a father to his son. So we have Butcher dying, and he's also being ostracized by the boys. Now, Huey wants Butcher to remain in the boys, but the rest of the boys, including Frenchie and Mother's Milk, they don't want anything to do with him. And also Starlight as well. She wants nothing. She's now part of the boys too. So they want Butcher out. They want Butcher to be a bit of a liability. And because he's like coughing and dozing off here and there at times, he's just not on the ball. And him dying obviously is going to play a significant part for this season, as well as, if he does survive this season, as well as next season, with season 5 being the final season. And also being ostracized as well. Like, he's really pissed off about that. As far as he's concerned, he is the leader of the boys. He made the boys. He is the boys. And he feels that Mother's Milk can't make the tough decisions, and him and Mother's Milk are fighting quite a lot regarding how the boys should be run. But, like I said, apart from Huey, he has been ostracized by everyone else. Huey still looks at him as his big brother. But we'll see how that goes, because at the same time, as much as Butcher's been ostracized, he's still like tagging along and saying, look, I'll do what the fuck I want. You might want to do a mission. I'm still going to, be behind you guys, keeping an eye on you and whatever, because I'm allowed to do what the fuck I want. And that's Butcher's way of still being involved with the boys. We have a new suit now. That's Sister Sage, also just known as Sage. She's beneath me. She's the black lady wearing the sort of goldy orange outfit. She is the smartest person in the world. At times, though, when she's communicating with people, they call her the smartest woman in the world, and she has to remind them, no, I am the smartest person in the world. That is her superpower. She gets hired by Homelander to basically be his consigliere, so to speak, because he's surrounded by sycophants and yes men, and even for someone like Homelander, that pisses his off, and he wants somebody who will just be very straight with him, and also somebody who's very intelligent too. So he brings in Sage into the Seven, and yeah, she's all up for it now, and you can see her influence very early on, making all these plans, which includes actually the death of like 3 members of Homelander's like fan club, because one of them happens to be Mother's Milk's ex-wife's boyfriend, and if you remember him, he's all in with the Homelander and stuff like that. And Homelander gets these 3 guys killed, him and 2 other sort of like Homelander fanboys, to be killed so that they can blame it on Starlight fans to have killed them when Sister Sage starts a riot between Starlight fans and Homelander fans. I hope that made sense. So yeah, she's definitely like a mastermind. She's your super brain villain, so to speak. And it's good that we have a super brain villain, because super brain villains have always been a part of comic books. Firecracker, she's the other lady beneath me right now. She's your Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lowen Boba, sort of like crazy ass conspiracy theorist soup. She can start fires by clicking her fingers. I think she can start fires or make firecracking sounds or something. We haven't seen the full extent of her powers just yet. She's very much a stereotypical, trad wife and all of that sort of stuff, but she's obviously looking like a dog's dinner as well. That's an English term. Figure it out if you want to know what it genuinely means. She's crazy. She's fucking crazy, and she will do anything to get people to watch her and view her. She gets brought into the Seven as well because of how crazy she is, and Sister Sage believes that somebody like her will be a good alternative to Starlight, because Starlight was too pure and too good, and they need somebody like her that will keep the crazy Homelander fans in check, so to speak, and keep them on their side. She'd be like the alternative version to Starlight. So I mentioned the MAGA piss take, and this is something I've been trying to hold back when it comes to talking about Homelander and Firecracker, as well as Sister Stage as well, because this series really does take the piss out of MAGA and right wingers and conspiracy theorists and flat earthers and crazy tinfoil hat fucking motherfuckers. People who believe that people on the left or liberals or whatever have pedos in their base or are pedos and have children in their basement. This show rips them to pieces and makes them out to be as wacky and crazy and in a way unintentionally honest as they can be. I mean, these people just want to cause shit, want to hate on certain demographics, just for the sake of it. And you can see also the religious elements of it as well. I'm loving this portrayal of these people because they are fucking crazy. We live in a world with MAGA who are fucking crazy, and I will never hold back my opinion on that because they are. I mean, they believe all sorts of conspiracies. If you think that someone like Donald Trump is a good person, a guy who wants to fuck his daughter and thinks the election is rigged, and is up for 34, is being convicted for 34 felons, and has also been convicted for rape as well. If that's your idea of a good person, then you're a fucking idiot. And shows like The Boys, who are replicating MAGA supporters when it comes to somebody like Homelander, who's a fucking mass murderer, who himself is a rapist. Let's not forget, he raped Butcher's wife in order to have his son. You know, he's done terrible things, killed his own supporters as well. But people will still follow him and support him till the fucking very end because they don't give a shit. They just like his type of evil. His type of evil is very popular for them. You know, it suits them. They like it. It's very appealing for them. And I'm liking the way that these dickhead right wingers are portrayed in this show. And more power to the makers of the show. Yeah, they take the piss out of the left and the liberals and, you know, woke things and whatever. But without doubt, The Boys is woke as fuck. And not only is it really woke, it's fucking great as well. Joe Kessler, he's somebody played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. There's not much really I know about him so far. He's a friend of Butcher's, and I think they want to try and bring Ryan into the fold because they find him a useful weapon on their side. Butcher's a bit torn about this because Ryan is obviously just a kid, and Butcher at the same time is trying to build bond with Ryan whenever he gets an opportunity. It's kind of unusual to see where we go with Joe Kessler. His name is Joe Kessler. It almost sounds like Joker. I don't know why I'm thinking that he could be like a Joker-ish type of character. I don't know why, but that name. Anyway, I guess we'll find out more about Joe Kessler in future episodes. Frenchie is gay. Yeah, like this kind of came out of the blue. Like, he's talking to this one guy who's an ex-junkie, and I think Frenchie being an ex-junkie as well. They're deliberating and talking about stuff because they met each other initially at a drugs anonymous sort of get together. This guy he met wanted to keep it on the low. Frenchie kind of outed him by accident amongst his workers. And then when this guy went to the toilet, Frenchie went to the toilet, tried to console him. They touched hands a little bit, and next thing you know, he's gay. It's a bit silly in my opinion. It's a bit weird because I never thought Frenchie was gay whatsoever, or was holding any sort of vibes within him that he is gay. But if it pisses off, you know, the anti-woke mob and the red pillars, if they get upset by this, even though I think it's a bit silly myself, but I'm not upset by it. I'm just not necessarily buying it regarding how things have been written in the past. But regardless, if it pisses off the anti-woke mob and the red pillars and all these incels out there, this sort of shit irritates you, fair enough. Let's keep this storyline going. And by the way, his relationship with Kimiko, who, by the way, I just love this woman, Kimiko. She's just so lovely. Her face is just so great. I mean, how can a woman with such an innocent, beautiful looking face be so deadly like her? But she is. But she herself is, and I haven't put this on this list, I want to quickly mention her. She and Frenchie, you could tell their relationship is brother and sister. Like they're not. You know, you would have thought, well, they won't they? But I believe it's more like a brother and sister relationship. They have a bond and a love for one each other, but I don't think it's at all sexual. And she herself, Kimiko, wants to save like children who are being like held captive or hostage or something like that she kind of saw these pictures of like children in cages when she was undercover at this Homelander rally, and she's kind of got a desire to deal with that, as well as she's seeing a shrink as well regarding being able to talk and communicate, something that she still hasn't done yet. So we'll see if that happens. I hope she does end up talking. That'll be pretty cool. Um, by the way, there's something in this list I didn't put down, and I want to mention it now before I forget. We have Black Noir. He is back, and this is a new Black Noir, and this is really funny because this new Black Noir, he looks, well, I mean, you can't really say he looks like Black Noir. We don't know what the old Black Noir and this new Black Noir kind of looks like regarding what they were under the mask. Obviously, the old Black Noir had issues with his brain and stuff, but regardless, this new Black Noir hasn't got those issues. He's talkative. Now, he's not really talkative. He's not talkative at all in front of the cameras, but he does express himself a lot more than the old Black Noir did, because he is a superhero who has been given this role and he's happy to take it, and it's just hilarious seeing him talk under the mask and stuff like that when there's moments when he's just with the Seven and all of that, and he's just trying to fight. He wants to be more than just a quiet type, but he doesn't accept the fact that that's who Black Noir was. He was the quiet type. He never said a damn thing, and he was expressionless. And this guy who's now Black Noir, the new Black Noir, doesn't want to be like that, and he's having to really suppress himself and be reminded now and again from everyone else in the Seven, like, calm it down, don't dance too much, don't move too much, be motionless. You know, he has to be like, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this new Black Noir because I'm liking it, knowing that the old Black Noir was this very stoic, quiet killer. This new Black Noir is going to be interesting to see where we go with him, and I know he does have a scene with Butcher later on, but I saw it in the trailers. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how similar his powers are to that of the old one. Ashley's demoted because of Sister Sage coming into the Seven, and she being so open and frank with Homelander, even though at times Homelander doesn't like the frankness. It's weird in a way. Homelander wanted somebody to be frank with her, and Sister Sage is like that. But at the same time, sometimes he doesn't like the frankness of Sister Sage, and he still wants people to kiss his ass. At times, it's really hard to keep someone like Homelander happy. But regardless, Ashley is being demoted. She's now just like a mascot, like the corporate face of the Seven. But she's not there to give ideas. She's been gotten rid of, and yeah, it's simply because she was an ass kisser and she was too busy kowtowing to Homelander without really telling Homelander how she feels about certain things, because she was scared to death of Homelander. Everyone's scared to fucking death of Homelander. I mean, there's this scene when Homelander tells the Deep to give A-Train a blowjob, and the Deep was just about to do it when Homelander tells him not to do it, because he's just so pissed off with everyone not being willing to tell Homelander how they truly feel about things. He's surrounded by yes men and sycophants, as he said earlier. But as I said earlier on, at the same time, sometimes he wants those people just to be yes men and sycophants. It's hard to keep Homelander happy when you got somebody too truthful like Sister Sage. That pisses him off, and when you got too many ass kisses, that also pisses him off. He's a fucking crazy man. Anyway, I've been tangenting to Homelander too much regarding Ashley, but yeah, Ashley being demoted. And finally, A-Train. A-Train has kind of had a bit of a face turn now. I think was it last season or the season before. He was supposed to try to do a good deed, but he ended up getting this one particular superhero killed when it came to turning on Homelander. But I think A-Train is kind of realizing now that he's a fake. You know, his brother is paralyzed, and obviously he got revenge on his brother by taking out that superhero by turning him into roadkill, if you remember last season. And he just wants to maybe be a better person. Like he feels like he feels like he needs to do the right thing. He has nephews, his brother's kids, who look up to him, but when his brother tells his own children that your uncle's really a fake, he's all the things you watched him do are scripted. He's not really a superhero. He's never saved a person in his damn life. This kind of really makes A-Train self-reflect on himself and think, you know what, maybe I should try to do the right thing. So he's actually helping on a couple of occasions. He has helped the boys, and that's been interesting to see where we go with this, because is he willing to go all the way? Is he going to set them up? Is he at the end of the day going to bow down to Homelander for Homelander just to like him again and all of that sort of stuff? It's weird with A-Train. He's just somebody you don't know if you could trust or not. Now, that's pretty much my bullet points with the show. The show has also had, so far with these 3 episodes, we've had some great scenes, gory scenes, crazy scenes, things you expect from the boys. There's one or two moments which are quite disgusting and at the same time horrific, and that's the boys for you. It's keeping those levels, and that's why we love this show. I do highly recommend it. For me, it's out of all the shows that we have on streaming services, everything I've watched on streaming services, this is the best. Season 1, 2, 3, and now 4, and I'm sure season 5 will be no different. This show just keeps giving it. It's just fantastic. And there are elements, by the way, of Gen V that have kind of like gone on to the boys regarding the virus and all of that kills Soups and stuff. I mean, I'm sure that will play a part. Godolphin University was mentioned on a couple of occasions as well. So I'm sure we're going to get some the lap over or crossover or whatever. So yeah, that's going to happen too. And obviously Gen V, that will be the continuing legacy of the boys once the boys does finally end. But regardless, this show is just so fucking good. Like, I had such a great time with the first 3 episodes. I'm going to mark all 3 as 10s. I really am. It's just like, we're back, baby. We're back. I'm so glad that we're back. This is my favorite show. There's just nothing that beats it. And it's such a good portrayal of how terrible superheroes can be. And also a fantastic portrayal of the world that we live in right now. It's done it so well. It just nailed it. How many fucking idiots there are in this world who are so gullible and believe the worst people in society and think that these people are the best people in society when they're not. They're just gullible fucking idiots that don't do the truth. The truth for them, they're allergic to the truth. They prefer, conspiracy theories and crazy motherfuckers telling them how to think and all of that. And that's the society we live in. But there's so many people who are like that, and I'm loving how the show spotlights that, as well as makes a really great show on consumerism, capitalism, and stuff like that. This show is so fucking woke, and it's so fucking good. You can be extremely woke. This is probably the most wokest of wokest shows, and so fucking good at the same time. How could anyone complain about stuff being woke and shit when you have something as amazing as The Boys, which is top fucking tier? You can be woke as you want, and you can be absolutely superb. Woke is never the issue. It's always been writing, and this is an example of fantastic writing with woke topics, mockery of the right wing, mockery of capitalism and consumerism, all of these sort of things, all of these woke topics, and still just nails it, just fucking nails it. Fantastic. I love this show. You can understand why. Anyway, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are without doubt the greatest social media channel you never heard of, and the name is NerdTube. Remember it.